and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to my channel if you're new here. I'm Jahan, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my 5 current Netflix faves that I think you should watch. If you like this type of thing, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give this video a like because it really helps my video. So some of these things that I'm going to mention are old and some things are new on Netflix, but they might be things that you haven't discovered yet. These are things that I've only discovered in the last few weeks, so let me give you the rundown. I'm going to try not to give you too many spoilers because I hate that. So the first thing I'm going to talk to you about is One of Us is Lying. This is a cross between Pretty Little Liars and Gossip Girl. It's a murder mystery basically. Somebody has been murdered and they're trying to work out who's done it. The reason why I like this is not necessarily, it's nothing revolutionary to be honest. It is very teen high school drama, a few bit cheesy in some points, acting's okay, but it's just something that you can watch and kind of just guess the who's done it, but in a sort of like in a bit of a juvenile teen way. It's a teen drama. It really does remind me of Gossip Girl, and it really does remind me of Pretty Little Liars. Here's to hoping, I've watched the first season, but here's to hoping that it doesn't end as poorly as Pretty Little Liars and we don't get invested and it doesn't deliver what it needs to at the end. But I think it's entertaining. I think it's one that you can watch easily without kind of using too much of your mind matter to work out who's done what. But yeah, I think it's enjoyable, and it's a season which I probably will follow up on. Hopefully it will continue to get better. The next one I'm going to talk about is The Bold Type. Now, The Bold Type's not new. I think it's on like 5th season now, and I just really enjoy it. It's a bit like a modern Sex and the City, 3 girls living in New York, and again, pretty unrealistic, a bit like Sex and the City, like money to do things that you probably couldn't afford to do with those types of jobs. But it's one of those ones which is really interesting because it's based in a fashion magazine. The characters are likeable. It deals with relevant issues from today's society, and it's done, I think, in a better way with dealing with those issues, not like Sex and the City back in the day. But if you like things like Emily in Paris, and you like things like Sex and the City, and you kind of like that kind of girl drama, girl power those sort of dramas, then you're going to enjoy this. The boss is one of my favourite characters. She's like a female boss, but also very empowering and helps her staff, which I really like. I really like that nuance because it's very different in these sort of dramas where the boss isn't playing some awful cow that hates her employees. She actually likes them, so it's not a Devil's Wear Prada kind of situation. It's actually quite a nice situation, and yeah, I found the storylines engaging and I watched it all very, very quickly. So the next one I'm going to mention is from the late 2000s or early 90s. It's My Mad Fat Diaries. I remember growing up seeing this advertisement, not watching it, and if you liked things like Teachers, then you are gonna love this because I don't know, it's the music is just nostalgia. The whole thing is just nostalgia. I absolutely loved the whole series. It deals with issues of mental health and just I really enjoyed watching it. I really struggled to find these sort of programs now, and they created in this kind of way. There was something about the 90s teen sort of young adult dramas that just they're not the same as they are now. They're not as gritty, and I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was really, really good. I wished I'd watched it before so I can compare how it felt. It's got the actress from Killing Eve in, Jodie Comer. It's got Jodie Comer in from Killing Eve, and a really young Jodie Comer in, and she is brilliant. She was brilliant when she was younger. She's brilliant when she's now, as she's grown up in acting, and I just love the storylines for all of them. It's not what you expect at all, and it's from the perspective of a girl who is suffering from binge eating disorder and has mental health issues. It's full of that 90s nostalgia, and I'm here for it because I love the 90s. I was a teen in the 90s. Was I? Yeah, I was a teen in the 90s. I loved it, so I'm happy to watch it again. I love it. The next one that I watched is Love is Blind, and I haven't watched reality TV in ages. It's not my favourite type of TV to watch. I haven't watched reality TV from like the days of Big Brother. I just don't enjoy it. Although I do watch Married at First Sight Australia, I have watched that recently because that in the last couple of years has been gold. But I watched Love is Blind. Oh my gosh, that programme. It reminds me of, if anyone's ever seen Dating in the Dark, which is the British version of just bizarre dating in the dark. It's just a similar thing. You don't see your partner until the end, but it doesn't have the consequences of getting married like Love is Blind. This programme is just, some of the contestants, not all of them, but a couple of them, you just think, why are you even on this programme? And I can see why you're single. That sounds harsh, but especially one of the guys, you just think, ugh, you just want to shake him. It's just so annoying. But it's an interesting concept. 14 people dating each other basically until you narrow it down to that one special person that you decide that you want to ask to marry you without seeing, just based on their voice and just getting to know them just by voice. So it's a bit like online dating, but not online dating because you're not really seeing the person. It's the concept is mad. And then they go on honeymoon together, and then eventually they decide if they actually want to get married for real, and then they get married. And some of the couples make it and some of the couples don't. And yeah, it's a really interesting concept. It's a bit like Married at First Sight and Dating in the Dark mashed together to make a whole new mess. But it's entertaining. They've advertised a new programme in the second season for one where couples that come together who haven't got married yet and are deciding whether they either leave with somebody else or get married or decide to get engaged. Like these social experiments, which I don't think are very... I don't know why they keep calling them social experiments, because I don't think they are. I just think it's just drama TV and opportunity just to capitalise on somebody else's unhappy relationship, or it's just that concept for the next programme that they advertised. If anybody's seen the advert, is bizarre. It sounds awful, actually. I don't know why you'd put yourself in that sort of situation on camera. Much better probably to go to couples therapy if you're feeling that way. But yeah, it doesn't mean that I probably won't end up being intrigued and want to watch it. So. And then the last one I want to recommend is 13 Minutes. I didn't know what to expect from this. It's not very long. It's a film, and it's got some names, household names in that you'll remember, like Thora Birch, I think, is in there. It's a really interesting film. It's about a tornado disaster and sort of the process up to the tornado and then a little bit afterwards, but it's just interesting. It's not a film that's necessarily got like a strong storyline. It's just one of those disaster films where you just watch life happen and what happens when these sort of things, destruction to land and that sort of thing, that what happens to the people around it, how they rally together, the aftermath of it all. So it's not got like a strong storyline. It's just got characters that you just follow, small snippets of their life and their story along the way. We don't experience those kind of extreme weathers in the UK, so it's interesting to see it from that perspective, from a newsroom perspective and from everyday people perspective, and how it was acted out on the different storylines. At times it was quite emotional. It's a really interesting film. It's about 2 hours long, maybe just under 2 hours, but I think it's just a worthwhile watch if you're just scrolling through and thinking, oh, wonder what this one's about. But yeah, 13 Minutes, I really enjoyed it. And those are my recommendations for Netflix this month. I will give you some more Netflix recommendations next month. I watch quite a bit on Netflix actually. I never used to, but I'm really into it now, and there's quite a few good things on there. My list is quite long, so I will let you know what I thought of some other bits, but let me know if you've seen anything on Netflix and recommend, because don't gatekeep Netflix recommendations. Everyone loves those, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.